From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
we get an update on activities leading to this year's Love Thy Neighborhood Awards. Courtney Kincaid on how to protect your business against scams, and how to get your DEI Leadership Certification straight from Indiana University.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
Welcome back to Business, Equity, and Opportunities when we talk accessing capital. The Local Initiative Support Corporation, or LISC, is part of a national organization that helps resident-led, community-based development organizations turn distressed communities and neighborhoods into ones that are healthy and proud. Successes qualify for a Love Thy Neighborhood Award.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to capital.
Dr. David Hampton leads the LISC Indianapolis program.
We're so excited about our Love That Neighborhood Awards this year. As always, we like to highlight businesses and organizations who are really on the ground doing the good work, who often don't get recognized. So this is just an opportunity for LISC to recognize them, as well as to garner support from the community, and hopefully to gain interest from other businesses who are interested in partnering with us. We had a good number of applicants. We're very excited to engage our awards this year. Megan Bullitt does a great job leading that effort, and so we're excited to see who rises to the top yet again. LISC really operates as an intermediary, which means we don't actually do any of the services that our business partners do, but we support them through technical assistance. We try to build capacity, and we really partner on the ground where they are, and so we act really as a partner. We have a real estate assistance fund, we have facade grants, and through creative placemaking, we really strategically partner with businesses to really develop underdeveloped neighborhoods, to help the economic resilience of businesses, which really raises the level of our community. And so when we see that type of growth, it helps us to take a step back, and we're humbled by the impacts that we're able to make when we help businesses who are perhaps struggling or looking for opportunities, whether it's access to capital, whether it's just a nudge in the right direction. LISC is there to help. Since May, we really established the first ever Latino Business Support Network. I talked about that a little bit at the mayor's Latin Expo breakfast, and really credit our program officer, Claudia Mendez Perkins, who leads that effort. But it's the first of its kind. It's the only Latino business support network in the state, and we've really been humbled and excited about the support and the partnerships that have come alongside us to help not only fund but also to lend support services to those Latino businesses. So LISC is one of the largest CDFIs in the country. We are a community development financial institution. Indianapolis is one of 38 local offices, and we do our work locally. And one of our national initiatives is called Project 10X, but it is our sort of racial equity overall mission. One of our mantras is that your zip code should really not determine your quality of life. And we work in the zip codes that are of most need, most of the underserved areas that need to be lifted. That's exactly what we go in and do. We set about the mission of uplifting neighborhoods, which really helps the entire community. Since we've come through COVID, I think businesses are bouncing back. We still face some of the challenges of rising interest rates, and I think materials are still sort of high in cost. So LISC operates as sort of that buffer to help fill in the gaps. We do so much around whether it's granting or lending funds to small businesses and organizations. And we really want to get the word out that LISC is here. We've been in the community for 30 years in Indianapolis. We want to be of a help. We want to be of assistance, and we want to partner with you. So find us, seek us.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. When you hang your shingle, the hope is to attract customers. Too often, though, we've seen it attract people who have their sights set on your profits. How to protect your business from a scam? One of our experts in accounting and bookkeeping, Courtney Kincaid from the Indiana CPA Society, has some thoughts.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Small businesses and startups are often targets for scams, just general scams, because they really don't have sophisticated cybersecurity or necessarily sophisticated internal controls processes, and scammers know that. So they target these people. There's really great tools that you can use, whether that's your CPA to help you create internal controls, or software vendors that, have some simple accounts payable. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about some things that you should be aware of as a small business. When it comes to scams, and a lot of them come through email because it's just the easiest way to get a hold of you, right? And a lot of times they spoof an email address, right? We put a lot of our information out there for the whole world to see. And so there are very simple ways of knowing who your colleagues are, very simple ways of potentially knowing who your clients are or who your vendors are. So my first tip is to look at an email address. Often you'll see the beginning looks the same as your real address, but after the @ will be completely crazy, or sometimes close, but not quite what it should be. So that's kind of your first tool and hint. You get something suspicious, you want to look at that very closely. Second is, making sure that whatever the request is, and usually it's a payment being requested, is it from someone that you actually do business with? As these small businesses grow and you get more people on your staff, it can sometimes be hard to remember all of the vendors or even all of the clients that you work with. So developing good internal controls is a really, really great way to make sure that you are paying invoices that are legitimate. I myself have received an invoice, and they're usually small amounts because they're not trying to raise a red flag. But if they can get several people to give them small amounts, it adds up to a lot, right? So working with your CPA or a software vendor, an accounting software vendor, to come up with those accounts payable internal controls are really, really beneficial. In addition, those internal controls can also help you with internal fraud as your company or organization grows. Making sure that you have a segregation of duties so that one person is not in charge of receiving, approving, and then writing that check, right? Very important. Not something that everyone always necessarily thinks of, and you do want to, trust everyone, but very, very, very important. They'll also help you with kind of two-way or three-way verification. So you get the invoice. It is a legitimate invoice, a vendor or a client you work with. Have you already paid that invoice? Making sure you're not doing duplicate payments. Making sure some of your payments aren't falling behind and that you're paying extra for late fees or processing fees. These are just really important things that those processes can help you with. Another really great tip, and something that I could get better at, honestly, is instead of replying to unsolicited emails, kind of forwarding those emails, right? Even if it's someone that you work with often, if they send you something suspicious, forward that email and type in the response versus just hitting reply. Going back to that spoofing, that way you kind of cut that person out, and then you're really talking to the client or the customer who might say, I didn't send you this. And so it's really a great way to, catch that scam, but it's also a really great way to make sure that that person is aware of that someone is using their identity. To make sure that you're protected against these scams, there's really two bits of advice that I would give to a small business owner. And one is to invest in some good email security. Two-factor authentication is really great. Making sure that you do actually have spam filters. It's great to sign up for free email, but sometimes the protection is not as high as if you would make a small investment in a different service. And then also, as always, working with your CPA to help you create those internal control processes that we discussed to help you with scams, but also help you make sure that you are protected against other fraud as your company grows.
Running your business day to day includes making sure your diversity, equity, and inclusion policies are on point. Monica Johnson's the Vice President for Diversity Education and Cross-Cultural Engagement for Indiana University. Kind enough to take time out to join us today to talk about a new certification program. Monica, thanks for being with us, and tell us about the work that you're doing.
Thank you for having me. I have been working with Indiana University to create a DEI certification program for leaders across industry who would like to be DEI informed. And when I say DEI informed, I mean they want to be the type of people who can lead organizations that are diverse, work with people from anywhere, any walk of life, any experience, and help those folks to find a sense of belonging within their company, as well as build a company that is prepared to adjust to the needs of an ever-changing world. So this program specifically is for folks who want to be more DEI informed in the way they lead organizations.
We have over the years documented at how this is a bit of a moving target. I understand you've got quite a faculty roster lined up to make sure that you're really at the cutting edge of everything.
Absolutely. We have an amazing group of faculty members for this program. We have folks who are coming from all across the world, all across different identities and backgrounds, who have been working professionally in spaces that are DEI, that are also diverse, that are in human resources, that are in tech, but are going to help those who participate in this program figure out how where they are, the company they're in, the positions they have, can be added to a portfolio that includes diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging.
As a practical matter, certification can do a number of things for a person who acquires one. I mean, frankly, it's a strong thing to be able to show investors or possible customers. From your perspective, and there'll be a nice piece of paper, I'm sure, that's included with this, but what do you want people to do with that? What's your hope that they'll take it and carry forward with?
Absolutely. You know, micro-credentialing, badges, and certificates are now the new thing in people's resumes, on LinkedIn. I want folks to know when they see someone who has come through the Indiana University DEI Leadership Certificate program, that they are seeing a person who has been challenged to see new and old problems. They've been challenged to think of ways that they enter into the work and ways that they bring other people on board with the work. They're going to be working with a person who has read considerably, who has engaged in critical conversations, and who has been challenged to come up with solutions for today's problems, and not just problems that are reinvented or reimagined, but for today's challenges. So that wonderful certificate that they're going to get that will have Indiana University on it will mean all of those things. They will be able to carry that badge proudly, knowing that they went through a program that was more than just watching a couple videos online, more than just not having to engage or communicate with other people like several other certificate programs for DEI are, but they're going to be in live instructor-led courses. They're going to be working with professionals from across the state, across the country at times, working on improving their leader tool bag.
So if this piques people's curiosity, if they think either personally or professionally, this is something I'm really interested, or I'm not sure that I am, I want to know more, how do people reach out? How can they be part of it?
Well, there's a website for that. As always, they can go to DEIcertification.iu.edu, and you can learn more about our program. You can even see the course schedule, the outline of how much time is going to be required, as well as register, because we are filling up.
And we'll link that to BEOshow.com as well, so our viewers can jump in either place, quickly find out. You know, businesses are bottom line oriented. Is there a cost associated with this? And if so, what is it?
So $2,500, and we are for a very short period of time, and I think I'm willing to do that for folks who find it from this show. If they use the coupon code VIP, they will actually be able to get a discount on that price. So again, $2,500, but for folks who are coming from today, please use that coupon code VIP, it's VIP23. VIP23, yes. And you can get a discount on that price as well.
Well, our business owners know a discount means a lot. So we appreciate your time and that offer and that opportunity. Wish you the best of luck. Will you check with us from time to time? Let us know how things are going.
I certainly will. I love coming back to my friends.
Monica Johnson with Indiana University. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.